Look around you. Look at our cities, our technology, our art. We dominate this planet. But what if I told you that, by every rule of nature, we shouldn't even be here? Humans are a walking paradox. We have no claws, no fangs, no fur to protect us. Compared to most mammals, we're slow, we're weak, and our babies are born completely helpless. Logically, we should have been an easy meal for a saber-toothed cat, a failed experiment wiped out thousands of years ago. So, the great mystery isn't how we became so successful, but how we survived at all. The answer is a shocking story of accidents, near disasters, and bizarre twists of fate that turned a fragile primate into the ruler of the world. Our story begins with what seems like a terrible mistake. Around 6 million years ago, our ancestors stood up and started walking on two legs. This wasn't some grand plan. It was likely a clumsy adaptation to changing environments. And it came with huge costs. It gave us chronic back pain, weak ankles, and made childbirth incredibly difficult and dangerous. For any other species, this would be an evolutionary dead end. But this one awkward change did something revolutionary. It freed our hands. Suddenly, our hands weren't just for walking. They were for carrying, for gesturing, and most importantly, for making tools. A simple sharpened rock became an extension of our body, a portable claw and fang that we could improve upon. This was evolution's first lucky mistake, turning a physical weakness into our first great advantage. But then came a development that nearly killed us off for good. Our brains started getting bigger. A big brain is a hungry brain. It consumes over 20% of our body's energy, even when we're resting. This created a massive problem. To feed this new supercomputer, our ancestors had to find more high-energy food, a constant life-or-death struggle a day. It also made pregnancy and birth a nightmare. A bigger brain means a bigger head, but our hips hadn't evolved to keep up. Human babies had to be born prematurely, while their brains were still small enough to pass through the birth canal, leaving them helpless for years. For a species struggling to survive in a hostile world, having such dependent offspring was almost a death sentence. Intelligence wasn't a gift. It was a curse that pushed us to the very brink of extinction. So what saved us? How did we fuel this energy-guzzling brain and protect our vulnerable young? We found a cheat code. Something no other animal had ever truly mastered. Fire. Fire changed everything. It wasn't just for warmth or scaring away predators. The real revolution happened when we started cooking our food. Cooking breaks down tough fibers and proteins, essentially pre-digesting our meals. This meant our bodies could extract far more energy with far less effort. Our guts could shrink, freeing up even more metabolic energy to power our expanding brains. Fire turned the night, once a time of terror, into our time. We could gather, share stories, and plan. We didn't just adapt to nature anymore. With fire, we began to control it. We hacked evolution, speed. Even with tools and fire, our survival was never guaranteed. In fact, we came terrifyingly close to disappearing forever. Genetic evidence suggests that at one point, around 70,000 years ago, the entire human population crashed to just a few thousand individuals, maybe even less. A supervolcano eruption, or a series of drastic climate shifts, nearly wiped us from the face of the earth. Imagine that. Every single person alive today is a descendant of that tiny, struggling band of survivors. One wrong move, one failed hunt, one bad winter, and our story would have ended before it truly began. Think about the person next to you. Think about yourself. You exist because a handful of our ancestors refused to give up against impossible odds. This raises another question. We weren't the only humans on the planet. There were others, like the Neanderthals in Europe, who were physically stronger and better adapted to the cold. There were the Denisovans in Asia and Homo erectus, who had survived for nearly 2 million years, far longer than we have. So why did we, Homo sapiens, survive while they all vanished? The answer wasn't our strength or our tools. It was something far more powerful. Something happening inside our minds. We'll learn to cooperate in massive numbers. But how? The secret was storytelling. We are the storytelling ape. Neanderthals could communicate. Sure. They could probably say, "Look, a lion." But humans could say, Don't go near the river bend, for the spirit of the great lion guards it. This ability to talk about things that don't physically exist, spirits, myths, gods, tribes, was our ultimate weapon, Tor. It allowed us to unite thousands, and eventually millions, of strangers around a common belief. Look at our world today. What is money? It's just a story we all agree to believe in. What is a nation, a corporation, or a law? They are all complex stories. No other animal can do this. A chimpanzee can convince thousands of other chimps to work together by promising them bananas in chimp heaven. But humans, can we use our imagination to create a shared reality, and then we use that reality to reshape the physical world? Our real superpower isn't intelligence, it's collective belief. And evolution hasn't stopped. For millions of years, the slow grind of natural selection shaped us. But now, something has changed. Our cultural and technological evolution is moving at a speed that biology can't possibly match. We're editing our own genes, we're connecting our brains to computers, and we're creating artificial intelligence that could one day surpass our own. We're on the verge of taking direct control of our own evolutionary path. The same species that almost went extinct because of a big brain is now building a global brain, too. It leads to a profound question. Are we still just Homo sapiens, the wise man, or are we in the process of becoming something entirely new? Think about your own existence. You are not just the product of your parents or your grandparents. You are the result of a 6 million year-long survival thriller. Your DNA carries the legacy of every lucky accident, every desperate struggle, and every impossible victory. Still, you are the culmination of billions of deaths, countless failures, and a series of near miracles. The fact that you are here, watching this, thinking these thoughts, is the greatest upset in the history of life on Earth. So when you look in the mirror, don't just see a person, see a survivor of evolution's most brutal and beautiful experiment. You are not an accident. You are a masterpiece. Thanks for watching.